the type of guys that go onto the internet and comment about women's bodies is not the type of a normal guy that you'd actually have a crush on out in the world.
Yes.
So you would never crush a guy who's commenting on that.
Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren. And we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
The Cimorelli podcast.
Woo-hoo!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Gather around. We are gathered here today. I bet you're wondering why we called this meeting.
Yes. Why did we call this meeting?
We called this meeting
This
to
is a meeting.
discuss a
flame.
trap, a.k.a. the summer body shame.
We're here to flame today.
We're here to maybe flame.
Filet
Yes, we are.
mignon.
We're here to flame.
She's here to flame. I love
I'm
to
here
see
to
it.
flame.
The summer body marketing ploy to keep us insecure and keep companies wealthy.
To keep us down.
So, this is episode 204.
Not today.
And we're going to be talking about body image.
Let's do it. All right.
Woohoo!
Let's start with the highs and lows of our week.
Okay.
Silence.
Don't
all
everybody
around.
jump in.
The high, the low.
What was my high and low?
Okay. Okay, the high of my week. The high of my week. I've been waking up early,
love it.
naturally every single day and going on my walk. And my
Amen.
mood is boosted. My energy is
that.
better. My focus, just life is just, and I get that alone time. Oh, and some of the days I even took a shower before the kids got up. It was amazing. Except for as soon as I stepped in the shower, I hear, Mama! And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I am in the shower. It's Barrett on the monitor, and I'm like, it'll be yellow soon. I go to the monitor, and he's like, okay. Because yellow is when they wake up. That's my high. It really has been improving my life a lot. After losing so much muscle, you
That is tough.
you can, and mostly do, lose a lot of muscle when you're pregnito. And then postpartum, you could just not really get it back. And then you just live without muscle. And I've lived a life now with more muscle and without more muscle. And I've realized how much it affects your quality of life. Especially as a mom, because you have to do so much picking up.
You're going to
and
have a lot of muscles.
bending and chasing and snatching. And,
It's a workout all day.
oh my gosh, it's so hard. So anyway,
Involuntary workout.
it is so rough. So my quality of life has been improving a lot since I've been building back a lot of muscle that I lost. I'm really improving my quality of life. So that's great. Okay, what is my low? My low is just, let's see, a mental breakdown. What was it? During the weekend at some point, I had a mental breakdown followed by a breakthrough.
Oh.
It was a low turned high.
Amen.
But yeah, it was just a mental breakdown of like, kind of like just a life breakdown of like the work life, not my work, Nick's work life balance, mental breakdown.
Ooh.
But kind of me too, work life balance of more like mom
Christina?
work and life balance. Just like
Yeah.
where you're like, how do I find the balance, right?
That is
But
tough.
then it turned to a breakthrough. So anyway, that was my low.
Love a breakthrough.
I'll go. My low was I went to the grocery store and I had so much social anxiety. And I don't always have that. I don't like always feel social anxiety anytime I go anywhere, and not even every time at the grocery store, but sometimes it just hits. There's so many people
that is
there
rough.
and I just feel so like so many tasks I have to do and it's like so many people in the way and I'm like, ugh. And it's just like not good. But I was like, I had to eat. I had to get food.
Girls
so
gonna eat.
had to go. So that was my low. My high is that I'm getting into nail art.
Ooh.
And I bought like a little nail art kit on Amazon. I don't have any nail art on yet, but I did this base in preparation
Love that.
to
Wait,
put
can I
nail
say
art on it.
about nails, I have this goal I don't know how to achieve of not, okay. I have a goal of finding what is the most simple possible nail thing that I could do that I could keep up with. But it's got to be the most simple thing that could ever exist that I would actually keep up with and not be stressed out of
Like
my mind.
not painting
Wouldn't take
them?
too much I don't know what it would be. No, it'd be some kind of, maybe it'd be like the most neutral
Here's the
nail.
problem. Doing
like
your
a light
nails
pink.
as a mom is so hard.
That's what I'm trying to...
Because once you paint
When
your
do
nails...
you have an hour to sit there and not touch
but
anything?
even then, it's
When
like,
do you?
it can smudge
Night.
for like a couple hours. You don't want to do it right before
Yeah,
bed.
so what do we
Okay.
do?
So it's like...
you have to get high quality nail polish though that's fast dry and like strong and thick.
Yeah, maybe
Does that
fast
exist?
dry.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Olive and June is really
Yes.
good.
I painted these on
This is
Sunday.
Olive in June.
Sunday.
I love Olive in
Catherine,
June.
do you see this
Do
Sunday?
we get any neutral
And I
nail
am rough
colors?
on my
No,
nails.
there's
there's
both.
pink.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
our
Light
dilemma.
pink.
We have to do it at like the very beginning of nap time, but then I'm like, do I want to sit for an entire nap time and not move
It'll
my
have
nails?
to be the evening.
It had to
Usually
be
I have 100
later,
in the
yeah.
evening.
But then it's like you don't want to do close to bed. I literally
Well,
struggle
I
with this
paint my
all the
nails
time.
at night with the Olive in June, and it doesn't. ruin.
Okay, I'll try
sorry,
it with my
that was
Olive
just butting
June.
in, but I have a goal, and I'm like, I am done with these nails.
Olive and
Yes,
June is really good.
do
And it's
it.
actually not crazy expensive either.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good nail polish.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. So you guys will see that whenever
I'm
I do
excited.
it.
I thought you got your nails done like at the salon.
No, I
Does it
did
look
it
really good?
myself.
Yeah, I'm like so hard on
Love
my
it.
nails, and this isn't.
All right, next high and low.
You want to go?
Did you go?
No.
You can go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my highs that all my shows are back.
Woo!
It's a great day. It's a great day to be a television addict. Oof.
Okay.
So many shows, so little time.
Love
That is
it.
the theme. And then my low within that, this is so dumb, but like it honestly does give me a little bit of turmoil. And I know that's traumatic and drastic, but when characters leave your shows, I'm like, it's like I'm dead serious. Am I right or am I
No,
right?
I get it.
Especially as someone with
It's your
shall we
comfort
say,
show.
attachment issues potentially.
Per se.
I
yeah.
get attached to characters and shows, and then all of a sudden they're 20 seasons in and there's no characters that used to be there, and you're like, this is a different television show, so I'll just treat it as such. But it's just, it's not
Oh
as
my
good.
gosh.
So that is a low, is like, I like can't handle all the goodbyes because they're so sad. So, and a lot of my favorite shows are on their last season this year. And I'm like, ew, this is gross. I'm just like, yeah, I don't like to say goodbye.
All right.
I have issues.
I think my low was. I think I told Lisa this or you. I told one of you guys this. I had to put on a motivational song to stand up.
What's
Let
up?
me paint the picture.
Oh, you told
Wait,
Lisa
wait.
and I.
Okay, let me paint the picture. So
Sorry,
it was like 2 days ago. It was a really long day. I was very tired, and also I'm very pregnant. And my husband starts cleaning the house. We always clean up the house before we go to bed. We
Love
clean up
it.
the house, and then we watch our show. So it's like a little treat. Like, ooh, we get to watch our show after we finish cleaning up.
reward.
So
I
he
love
starts
that.
cleaning all around me. I'm just sitting there laughing my brains out at like these Instagram reels because I just get in these weird pregnancy moods where everything is hilarious to me and I cannot stop laughing. I send like 100 reels to my sisters. They never watch them. And then I
We
send...
never open our group Instagram.
Yeah.
I
Sister
watched some
group.
of them.
I sent
I've
so
seen
many.
you.
And I sent a bunch to Max. And I was laughing my brains out, having a grand time sitting on the couch. And then Max goes, do you want to help me out so we could watch our show soon? And I was like, okay. Because he was cleaning for like a long time. I did kind of feel bad, but I was like, I'm so tired. So I put on Remember the Name by Fort Minor. Clean version.
It's like, this is 10% love, 20% skill to get off the couch.
And then I stood up and I kept on Fort Minor for like a good 10 minutes to get through the dishes. I was just
one.
like, 10% luck,
ready?
20% skill.
100% concentrated power.
I gotta say, it did motivate me to keep going.
I love it.
5% pleasure. I don't remember the percentages they put on there.
That's so
To
funny.
remember
I
the
probably
name.
could recite them perfectly. I loved that song.
Tell
It's a
us,
good one.
What are they?
This is
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
50 or 15?
15.
Oh.
15.
Did you add them up?
I
know,
did
no,
not. add
but I'm
them
pretty
up.
sure
No,
it's
it's 50. 50% pain.
Wait, what's
Its
the first
soul is
one?
50.
Say it again.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain.
There we go. So she's standing up like
We love
50% pain.
I will say high was that? So stupid. My friends got me a bunch of chocolate for my birthday. So I was so happy. Literally, like, it's. Do you ever find this? Like, certain years you get present trends where like 10 people will get you candles, and you didn't get any candles last year.
No.
This
Bath
year,
salts.
I don't know that anyone has gotten me chocolate in a while for my birthday, which I love chocolate. I'll always take it.
That's so
But
random.
2 people got me each 2 containers. One was like chocolate covered pretzels. One was like chocolate salted caramels.
Amen.
And I was like, thank you for hooking me up. Oh,
Amen.
I'm going through the s'mores. It's like s'mores clusters.
Ooh.
And it's like graham cracker, graham cracker, marshmallow, milk chocolate mix. Oh my gosh.
Those were the Costco ones are so good.
Anyway. No, I think they're from Target. Their favorite day.
There are Costco ones that are so amazing.
Oh, I bet. Costco has the best snacks. Costco and Trader Joe's.
Now
And Target. Honestly, Target snacks, don't sleep on those. They got some good ones. The Willy Wallaby strawberry watermelon twist. Okay, sorry.
Shall we?
That sounds
Shall we move? Guys, if you want our full episodes, you want every single full episode, you got to join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Cimorelli. It's linked in the description. And you get every full episode of the podcast, all the past ones we've done. Plus, you get the past series we've done. We did one called Things We Don't Talk About. I think we've done other
that
ones
one was
too.
really good.
And you get our Monday content. We do a Q&A every single Monday with all the questions for Patreon. And you get to be a part of Lauren's Take. There's also a birthday club on there. You get exclusive merch, and you get... we sing to you, send a video of us singing to you, and there's exclusive live stream every month. There's different tiers. Exclusive live stream where we tell you something that nobody knows every single month. Like we show you something exclusive or tell you something about like a song or a video or like the gender of Catherine's baby. That literally happened. We do something like that exclusive every single month. So if you want to keep up with all that and if you want to support us, which we appreciate so much, seriously, the patrons, you guys are the best. We are so grateful for you guys. Patreon.com/Cimorelli, link in the description, and you can support us there and get all of that content. So, you know, when you really don't want to cook, you don't want to lift a finger, but you need to get dinner on the table or lunch, whatever the heck, we got the answer for you. Factor. So Factor is a ready-to-eat meal delivery service. So like I said, this is for those times when you don't want to lift a finger. You have the ready-to-eat meal right in front of you, and it's going to be ready in 2 minutes. So with Factor, every fresh, never frozen meal is chef crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. You can customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to get as much or as little as you need. Pause or reschedule deliveries to suit your lifestyle. I cannot wait to try these. We haven't gotten to try them yet, but I'm dying for this because there are a lot of nights where it's just like, I cannot be cooking tonight. I absolutely cannot. So I can't wait for that. Head to factormeals.com/Cimorelli50 and use code Cimorelli50 to get 50% off your first month plus 20% off your next month. That's code Cimorelli50 at factormeals.com/Cimorelli50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. So we all need therapy, as you know. We've talked about this many times. We've been talking about therapy and being in therapy for years because I would say before it was cool to talk about personally, because we're all big advocates here for therapy. We've all seen multiple therapists too, because that's a part of therapy. I would say is you got to find the right one, and sometimes you're on the hunt for the next one, and it can be quite the experience trying to find a new one. That is where BetterHelp comes in. So BetterHelp is online therapy. So convenient from the comfort of your own home. And it's really cool how you can just fill out like a questionnaire and they match you with someone. In the real world, whatever, you have to, Google around and try to find someone. And it can be so annoying, irritating, draining, difficult to find someone. So BetterHelp is really cool because it's all online therapy and you're matched with someone and it's super easy to switch to someone else. I mean, they have like an endless amount of people there. So it's like, if you don't connect with this one person, try someone else, which is a very normal part of therapy that we've all experienced that. Like we try someone out and it's like, no, this is not the right person for me. I got to try someone else. So I do think that's a really cool part of it. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Go to betterhelp.com/Cimorelli today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/Cimorelli. All the things wrong with the summer body, bikini
Archetype.
body campaign.
Wrong.
To steal your money and keep you down.
And sad.
Depressed.
That's what it is. So
And
what?
mean to yourself.
What is this campaign? This is a 24/7, 365
All out battle.
24/7 marketing campaign going on at all times.
Everywhere you
You
look.
can't escape it.
You
can't
literally
escape.
I don't really see it in like
No,
December.
no, Lauren. Wait,
No,
wait,
yes,
wait.
you do.
Yes,
they
you
talk
do.
about
New Year's.
summer bodies
New
Yeah, New Year's. Join
in
the gym.
November.
Yes, people say summer bodies are made in the winter.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Or
Gosh,
they say
you're
like,
right, you're
oh,
right.
don't go too overboard at the holidays. Like, go to
Ew.
the
And
gym.
they say time to get back on track.
And then
for
they
your New
say
Year's
spring break
goals.
is coming in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
They're always, so people are always out here to remind you. They're not saying like, hey, we want to nourish our bodies with the nutrients our bodies need. Hey, you know, your muscles, they need this, that. No, they're not saying that. They're saying, guess what? Spring break is coming.
And you're ugly.
You're going to be in a swimsuit. And guess what? You can
Be
only do
afraid.
that if you look like this. Hey, guess what? Summer's coming. You ready to be in a swimsuit? Guess what? You have to look like this to be in a swimsuit.
You
And you know
need
what?
a license.
It's so it's so like complex because it's like you need to be thin, toned, tan, hairless, good nails, good
Curvy.
hair. Somehow your face needs to look good, but your makeup will probably run.
You
'cause you're
can't
going
wear
in water.
You can't
makeup
be
to the
sweaty.
water.
You gotta
can't
have
look
like
sweaty.
natural makeup.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah.
somehow doesn't run. I guess you just can't go
It
in the
doesn't
water.
look like makeup
You
either.
can't have obvious makeup on.
and you can't be too skinny, but you can't be too curvy.
And
Yeah.
you somehow needed to achieve a tan before you even went in the sun. So
Yeah.
you probably have to fake tan, but like don't make it look fake.
And
It
if
has
you're
to look
Yes.
curvy, you
real.
have
Make
to
sure
have
it doesn't
a
look
totally flat stomach at the same time.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah,
you need,
it's
you need
very
this to be this
confusing.
big. You need this to be small. You need blah, 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 blah.
And don't let your hair frizz at the beach.
Never.
Oh, and guess
Make
what?
sure your eyebrows are on point.
For every single problem you have, we have something you can buy.
For the low cost of $100 a minute.
For
And your
every single
soul.
thing. Literally every problem you have, there's absolutely 10 things being marketed to you every hour.
It's
for
crazy.
that specific product.
Laser hair
problem.
removal, microblading, facials.
Because
get your
people-
nails done. Do all these things.
People can't know you have hair.
No.
Gosh, you have
No.
hair. You barbarian.
People can't know you have cellulite.
And you go on TikTok and everyone's like, oh, I am doing this workout to do this. Oh, you need to do this. You need all these different things. And it's like, okay.
I need my arms to be smaller.
How
I
to
need
get your
my
arms
this to
smaller.
be okay. So let's just pinpoint. So basically, what they're saying is, every day you're being hit with, you need to go through your entire body, right? Go through your face, go through your skin, go through your hair, go through every part of your body, and let's point out what are all the flaws that you have. Let's add them all up. Let's get to our list of 57 flaws that you have. Let's go through every specific thing.
Go through ugly,
Not to
dumb,
mention,
bad.
the body type that you are supposed to have will change frequently. If you guys remember
Yeah.
in the movie Bride Wars, she said your butt looked small or huge as an insult.
And now that's
And that is not an insult anymore.
Thank you. But then she was like, oh, how could you
How
say
could you ever
that?
say that?
Everyone wanted a flat butt and what year was that?
Literally.
So you're supposed to go through and keep this list of all of your flaws, and then you're supposed to figure out, okay, so how am I supposed to fix them? What things can I buy to fix all these flaws that I have? What products, what programs, blah, 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 blah. And then every day you're supposed to go through your list of flaws and go through where you are, how bad each part of you is flopping, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, this is flopping, this. Okay, I need to change this. Okay, so what am I going to fix today? What am I going to fix tomorrow? What am I going to fix the next day? And we're all not, basically, it's kind of like whatever the trend is at the point, we're all kind of working, we all meaning the collective, whatever culture you're in, right? We're all working towards this same standard of trends that are being shoved down our throat every single day. So we're all kind of working to look like the same person, essentially.
Yes.
If you're stuck in this hamster wheel, and we all look so different, but it's all like, okay, now the trend is this, so now we need to have like thicker eyebrows. Okay, let's all get these eyebrow hair growing serums, and let's figure out how we can get our eyebrows to grow back.
The
'cause
eyebrows
we're
are
all-
going thin again.
We're all flopping. Yeah, now it's going to thick.
These will never be
Don't
thin.
do it. Don't do it.
I'm just telling you.
But especially with the body specifics, and it's like, okay, so I have this body type, but now This other one is in. So how am I going to make myself change body types right now? Oh, guess what? There are plenty of procedures you can do now, actually. It doesn't even have to be surgical. You can do this. You can do this. You know how many emails I get just by personal email that's like spam emails about different cosmetic procedures for my body that I should do. I didn't sign up for one of these things. I didn't click on something about this. I never looked at a website. I never did any of this. And I am being sold to about this all the time.
Oh, I hate that.
The other thing is, a lot of people don't even know about body types, and people market as if they don't exist and saying like a lot of workout people, they're like, here's how you can have long, lean muscles and get a ballerina body or a Pilates body.
Amy's not
Or,
gonna have a
oh,
long
you can
muscle.
shrink
These are not
this
long.
and grow that. And it's like, you actually can't like sculpt yourself into anything like by doing this workout or using this product. Like, you actually have a body type that is one way and it will not change ever, no matter how much you do this Pilates body workout. But people don't know that.
And it's hard because you're getting inundated at all times when you're on social media, especially by people that have a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of, I don't like to use this word, but a lot of privilege to be focus their life like on their body and how it looks, because that's how they make money.
That's like their job.
It is a full-time
It's their job. And so like you're working at your job and they're working at their job.
And you're like, why don't I look like them?
But if you had the money and all the things that they have access to at that time and that was your job, you could probably do a similar thing. But you can't compare yourself when your job is not that to what they're doing. But all you see every day is just pictures and thirst traps and all these things of all these bodies, just bodies
And
everywhere.
You see edited bodies all the
Yes.
time now.
Yep.
You didn't used to be able to actually edit, like, didn't exist.
Like
the
Facetune and
capabilities.
stuff?
The capabilities came later, right?
Like
I'm
Photoshop.
saying everywhere. Movies, TV shows, photos, videos. Everything you're looking at, we're seeing, and we don't even know, like, we don't always register that it's
Yeah,
edited.
I don't know.
There are so many images we see that we don't even know are edited. So the amount of edited bodies and faces that we're seeing
And also
every
edited by
day.
procedures too.
Well, yes. Okay, so digitally edited and then in other
Surgically
ways,
edited.
surgically edited. We don't realize how many we are seeing every day. So it's kind of wild. And then you sit there with your list of 57 things and you're like, okay, now I got to do all this. So we're here to flame that today and say, no, we're not doing that. So think about
You don't have to do
Think about
what
all the
they're
years.
doing.
All the years you've done this, right? We go through the whole thing. You make the list, you measure yourself up against it, and then you're like, I mean, you're just roasting yourself every day.
Yep.
Every single day of your life.
You're like,
right?
ugly loser.
Yeah.
What if we don't do that this year? What if
Ooh.
we unfollow the people who
Make us feel
make that content
upset.
or make us feel like that? What
And
can we do
even
to
if
undo
they're
this?
not, like, the person's not doing anything wrong, they're just living their life. But when you look at them, you feel bad. Unfollow them. You don't have to see that. Like,
Yeah, and it's crazy because I feel like most of the internet has just turned into one giant body check.
yeah.
The entire internet for
That's
men
crazy.
and women.
It's like,
Everyone.
am I TikTok pretty? Am I girl pretty? Boy pretty? All these weird things, side profile, all these things that it's like, you probably never would have thought about all these random, minuscule things if you didn't see all these weirdo TikToks about it.
That's so true. We
Yeah.
have like
Like,
too much time, honestly.
Too
Like, how
much.
are we thinking about all these different obscure parts of our bodies and faces now because they're all presented to us? Like, who was saying this? Imagine in the olden days, if you had to be like, you're like growing your food.
You're growing your
like,
crops.
out there doing all this stuff, and like you have so much stuff you have to do just to make your life like run. Then you're going and you're helping your woman in your
Neighbor.
community who just
Yeah.
gave birth. You know, you're cooking her.
You're
meal,
building a
you're holding her
barn.
child, you're building a barn. You're doing all this stuff. You're not just sitting there scrolling through and looking at every
You're
random
washing your clothing in the creek.
obscure.
Well, and what's so unhinged about it too is that, like, you'll see like these specific body types like on TikTok, and all the comments you see, oh, everyone's backing it up that this is what I'm supposed to look like. You see all the guys in the comments, oh my gosh, I wish I had her, blah blah. All these girls, oh, I wish I looked like her. I'd give anything to look like her. And it's like an alternate reality though, because okay, I'm trying to like think of this while I'm saying it, so just vibe with me here.
We're vibing.
But it's like, okay, there's all these unhinged people on the internet and also people with random insecurities, right? So random weirdos can go on a video and comment, oh, this about her, oh, this about her, oh, this about her, that you would probably never actually hear that in real life. Most people aren't thinking that in real life, and you would never think of that. So it's like social media has created like a different standard than what's in reality. So it's
That's
like
so
you
true.
can go online and you see like, you know,
That's
the
scary.
girls that it's like, oh, this is the girl that every guy wants, right? And it's like in real life, yeah, I'm sure that girl, it's like, oh, every guy wants her. But in real life, there's so many more like different types of girls that are like very like desirable, that if that same girl went on TikTok, she wouldn't be like the number one girl. Like there's a completely different even standard of real life versus on video, where it's like you take just like the real life standards and then it goes to like 100 online, where it's like it's not even realistic. Like it's just so weird how you can be received so differently online versus in reality.
Yeah.
So don't we know?
And I was thinking about this while you were talking too. It's like, I understand why people want to like change things and like look different ways and all these things, because there's so much deep pain and shame associated with our bodies and how we look, and it's not right.
Yeah, why?
Well,
where does that...
Wait, I have actually another point with this. Is that, okay, the type of guys that go onto the internet and comment about women's bodies is not
It ain't
the
my
type.
husband.
It's not the nice.
It's not the type of a normal guy that you'd actually have a
Yes.
crush on out in the world.
Yes.
So
Because you would never crush a guy who's commenting on that.
It's like
Think about
guys that have like a weird mental problem that can look at a girl and be like, oh, well, she's this, she's that. When a real normal guy, he's not looking at you like that. Like, I think you guys agree with me. A normal guy does not notice every minuscule detail about a girl. Of like
No.
Not
her
my
eyebrows,
husband.
this, oh, this about her. There's just like, oh, a beautiful woman. Like, but having that makes you think like, oh, all guys think this, because I think that's a big part of the body stuff. And I feel like people try to be like, oh, no one cares about that, but you do. It's like you want to be desirable and you want guys to like you, and you're like, oh, I will only have a guy like me if I look like this perfect thing, because you see all those weirdo guys in the comments, but that's not even real.
And also, I think that there is this thing that I just thought of too. In every like rom-com and like, especially from like the 2000s and stuff, and I am not trying to shade anyone, and also like, don't think that. Every lead person looks the same. They all look like very skinny, very pretty, very like Eurocentric. Like, and those are the people that are allowed to fall in love in the movies that you see and are inundated with. Like, I remember being a child.
When you're a kid, yeah.
And watching like Disney Channel being like, oh my gosh, these kids, they're so much skinnier than I am. Why am I not as skinny as all these kids? They're so much skinnier than me. And I literally remember being inundated with that from the time I was like 6, like very, very, very young. The average girl starts like thinking about their body at like 6 or 7, which is tragic. And like the people that are not perfect looking or Eurocentric looking, or like they're relegated to the best friend or like some sort of support thing. They don't get to fall in love. They don't get to have their own journeys. They're just some
But that's
background
not
thing.
real though. It's
Yeah,
like
it's not real life.
Most people, right? Like end up in a relationship at some
Yeah.
point. Most people do. And most people are not this perfect looking thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like we literally think that if we don't look this certain way, no one will ever love us. When if you look
Yes.
around, plenty of people are in relationships looking completely different.
Yeah, and I have to say, coming from the perspective of like an eating disorder, which I think is actually more common than you might think. Like an eating disorder sounds really extreme, But the more you go into recovery and you start like healing, the more you see eating disordered behaviors.
Well, I feel like there's like levels to it.
Yeah,
like, I don't have a
there's-
full eating
yeah.
disorder, but like maybe
There's levels to
Disordered eating
right?
trends.
There's a lot of disordered eating behaviors that are very normalized.
Yes.
Such as you shouldn't eat more than a man. That's one example. There's so many that are like
Perhaps not.
that are very disordered. But one thing that I just want to make a point of is, just from my perspective, there is a darkness to pursuing thinness that people don't talk about. And you see these girls, which like I was in that place for a long time, and they look effortless, they look happy, they look full of life, but pursuing thinness is a full-time mental job, and obsessing about your diet all the time is a full mental job that takes up so much of your mind and your energy. And at what point is it worth it? Like maybe
At what cost?
you might like how your body looks at some points, being thin or whatever, or if you lose weight, whatever. But you have to ask yourself, like, there's a great quote in the eating disorder community that's like, it's not a dream body if it's a nightmare to maintain. Oh. And I just think about like
so real.
one of the saddest things, like that's another disordered eating thing, is like baking for other people but never eating it yourself. It's like,
That was so wild when you told me about this, and then I noticed it, how much of a thing that is.
yeah.
It's a really
And I
interesting
remember
thing.
having that thought of like, oh, you just become an adult and like your metabolism slows down. So like, I'm not supposed to eat this anymore. Like I just give this to other people and
So
I can't eat this,
interesting.
or my body's going to change. And then I'm not going to have the thing that I want most, is like my body to look a certain way. It's just real. It really gets dark, and like just feeling hungry, or like that's the things you have to do to get that body that you probably will still find so many flaws within. It'll still never be good enough. But the things that you have to do to even get close to that is very dark, and it's very
it's
heavy.
like inhumane if you really
Yes,
look at it. You're
it
not
is.
treating yourself like a human, like the way that you're
You're like
Yeah.
a product.
like yeah.
Yeah, because I think people have
You're an
become
object.
People have literally become commodified.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's scary.
So deeply commodified, especially with the rise of social media. But even before then, with like models, entertainment industry, like all that stuff, even like human trafficking, people are literally products that are bought and sold every single day.
Let's talk about hiding this behind health.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Which
It's
is-
so
which is
sad.
An eating disorder called orthorexia.
That's orthorexia.
Well, not just that. I mean, when people say this in comments a lot. And when people will
wanna be
say
healthy.
like, well, people make a lot of excuses about like summer body related things or about losing weight, and they use health as the reason. But as we've all like learned so much about this in the last several years or few years, and really learning more about what actually, especially in pregnancy, I feel like I learned so much about my body, learning so much about what health actually is. And it's about like nurturing, like your body needs all these different things. And then nurturing that is very different than restricting calories and
Yes.
over exercising. That's not the same thing as nourishing a body and giving it what it needs and feeling it flourish and seeing the signs of your body flourishing, the signs of health in your body. That is different. And people always like leave comments, and that's like the number one defense for all weight loss basically is like, and like the summer body, losing weight, is health.
Yeah.
And it is a trick. And there are a lot of creators that will call this out like, this is not so healthy, this health thing you're doing. So I feel like we should touch on that. Or maybe some like, I don't know, you say specifics like sneaky things you've seen, or just like talk about it more. Because I feel like I was shocked when I first saw different creators calling that out. I was kind of shocked, like, whoa, they're right.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that specifically I think a lot of women seem to get an idea in their mind as they get older is like, it's healthy to eat as little as possible or as low calorie as possible.
No, it's not.
Which really, I think a healthy diet is a variety of food, a lot of different food, a lot of different like
You need a lot of
I mean,
different
in a very like
things.
basic way, it's a balance of like carbs, like simple carbs, complex carbs, fats, proteins, nutrients. Like there's a lot of different
Fiber.
things. Also, foods that you just enjoy that maybe aren't super nutrient dense that they call soul foods. If you never eat those and you're restricting them, you're more likely to go overboard and binge them later. So it's good to include those regularly in your diet with a variety of other
Yes, because
foods.
nourishing means nourishing your mental health as well.
Yeah, mental
Yeah.
health is a big aspect of it as well. And like she's saying, like if you are if you're like talking about health and then you're stressed about every single meal and you're stressed, the experience of stress in your body is very much not a healthy, if you care about healthy, that's not a healthy thing. The experience of over exercising, under eating, and stressing about everything you're eating.
That's really
very
hard on your body.
stressful.
It's so scary.
So to call that health is very much not right. Doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
And people could look at you and be like, wow, you look so good. You look so healthy. But it's like, is that really healthy? Like,
knowing that healthy doesn't necessarily have a look. Like maybe someone's skin could look healthy. Yes, you could be like they look healthy by looking at their skin, I guess. But that's not
Maybe.
telling you. Well, yeah, skin can look healthy.
Yeah.
But
And
that
also-
doesn't mean you know what's going on in their body.
Genetics. Some people have really great skin just from their
That's what I'm
genes.
saying.
Yeah.
You can
Never
look
know.
at their skin and be like, you look so healthy. Okay, that's great. But you can't see what's going on inside.
Yeah.
So the idea of you look healthy is also another thing that's like,
Yeah, and you deserve to not be afraid of food. Because I've definitely gone through this before where you meaning me, I get like afraid to eat certain things. Like, for a long time after I moved out for, personal reasons or whatever, I was like, I'm not allowed to buy cheese. Now I have like 6 different kinds of cheese at all times. We're well stocked on the cheese. Because cheese is not a bad thing. Or like, I did exposure therapy for a second where I was like, I'm not allowed to buy soda. I can't have anything like that. So I had a nightly root beer for a while. And I was like, I love my nightly root beer. You don't deserve to be afraid of food. You don't deserve to be so afraid all the time.
If you feel afraid of food, I really recommend reaching out to like an eating disorder specialist or just a dietitian that
what are some things that people are like, if I feel this is, I think you should tell them like, if you're experiencing maybe this or this or this, you should, I think there's things they don't realize because it's normally their friends.
so normalized.
I think feeling afraid or out of control with food are both big warning signs. And out of control could mean you're restricting a lot or you're binging a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's both for
Like
people.
a bunch of rules. Like
Yeah,
making
having
bunch
a lot of
rules.
food rules. Like I actually noticed, I mean, I've been in recovery for almost 4 years now. I noticed
that
just
for
in the
you.
fall that I had a huge mental block around candy. And I felt like I'm out of control with candy. I can't buy candy. It's so bad for you.
You gotta do that candy exposure therapy.
Right. And I had to work through this with my dietitian. And I
Yeah.
think this is one of those things where like if you're not working with someone who specifically knows how to like help you, it's to me, it's all about healing your relationship with food so you don't feel, and with all this stuff about the summer body, you're getting all these messages. It's really hard to like consciously go against that because you're getting so much of it inundated with all the time on social media. But yeah, I think there's a couple people that I follow. One, her name like it's Ryan Nicole. I think she spells it like Ryann or whatever. She's like a binge eating specialist. She talks a lot about healing your relationship with food. I think she's also like a registered dietitian therapist. There's a bunch of people online and you can find those people. It's just not worth it if you feel a lot of fear or a lot of anxiety or out of control with food. Just like that's a warning sign in and of itself.
Yeah, and I feel like actually a lot of people get this from people in real life, of people like sometimes a lot of parents can put a lot of pressure on you to look a certain
100%.
way. So what do you guys think would be a good thing to say to yourself or to your parent or someone in real life if they're saying a bunch of negative things to you?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that to wrap up this whole topic of like, okay, so we're coming into the summertime soon enough. We're coming to spring soon, but summer, and it's like, oh, people are going to see more of my body. And I think the thought goes like, okay, and now I'm going to be ashamed because of the judgments that I think everyone's going to have on my body. But if I have my body looking this way, then I won't have to be ashamed because then they won't be making those judgments. That can go for any aspect of your life, honestly. In every aspect of your life, people will have judgments about every single thing that you do. Someone can have a judgment. Anyone in the world, and with the internet, anyone in the world really can. But
Literally.
I think that mindset, we've like accepted it when it comes to our bodies to be like, oh yeah, people will judge this, so I do have to, like, I'm not allowed to, I do have to change. I think we have to question, I think we have to go back. We have to go back, way back, because this is developed like in childhood and like teenage years and all that.
Yeah.
I think we have to go back to there and start questioning all of it and be like, wait a minute, whoa. We have to ask, like, what am I believing about all this? And then we got to change it. Like, we can change it.
And also, too, if you really ask yourself, what are your goals this summer? What would make this summer really fun for you? You can do any of those things with your body looking exactly the way it does now. And I think one thing to keep in mind, I think one of the biggest things, at least for like, I'm sure guys feel the same way, but it's like, I'll never find like someone to love me or like a partner if I don't change my body. You have to ask yourself the type of body that you think is like a perfect body and the superhuman amount of effort it takes to maintain that. What kind of person would be drawn to you if you did attain that body? Do you think that someone who is drawn to that type of body would be a healthy person? Someone that's that into looks and that into like maybe you should just go for someone who's a little more like a nice normal person who just lives their life. Like, again, I don't think most people think that way, but like that's more of an extreme example.
But yeah, also,
but like you can find love exactly as you are.
Yes.
You can have a fun summer. You can throw the football on the beach.
Football at the beach.
Have a bonfire with your friends. Go on a road trip.
Go
play the guitar
swimming.
on the beach. You know, whatever. All those things you see in movies, you can do all those things and have an amazing time without changing a single thing about your appearance.
Yes.
And the more that you accept and love yourself the way that you are, the more you give other people the permission to do that. And nothing is more attractive than someone that like has peace with themselves.
Yeah.
It really
Also,
is.
you don't have to wear a bikini or a cheeky swimsuit. You can wear whatever you want on the beach, and you don't have to actually feel ashamed if you want to dress really modestly too.
Yeah,
like you don't have
that's
to
true.
feel bad of like, oh, I'm hiding my body. Like maybe you just don't want to put it on display for the whole world, and that's
You don't have
fine.
to.
You don't have
Yeah.
to.
If the swimsuit you chose is making you feel like really self-conscious about your body, it's probably not you. It's probably the swimsuit.
Yeah.
Just find a different one that makes you feel like one that you can run around in and not feel like you're about to fall out. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if you think about it, like some of the most, societally beautiful, celebrated people, I'm not roasting anyone in particular. They have many failed relationships that we've all seen.
That's true.
So it's not going to get
So
you
it doesn't mean that if you
immediate,
look
instant success.
if you look
Guaranteed.
perfect and everyone agrees that you are a beautiful, flawless model person,
That doesn't mean
that you're gonna fall and have amazing relationships.
That's a
And
great
guess what?
point.
When was the last time you said, I really would want to be friends with that girl. She's so cool and has an amazing personality, but she's not perfect looking, so that's not good enough for me. It's like, no one thinks that. Friendship, fun, romance. You can have all those things exactly how you are.
So I would say this summer here, the challenge would be, can you challenge yourself this summer to get rid of this mindset? And every time a thought comes into your mind about it, be like, no, we're not doing that this summer. I am me. I love me. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to wear this outfit and I'm going to be confident and love myself this summer. If you do that, I'm curious what the summer would be like if every single thing that happened, like, oh, I'm scared to do this because of swimsuit. And you're like, no, I'm going to wear a swimsuit. I'm going to do this. And then you see like how you feel at the end of the day and then do something else and then see how you feel.
And if people are commenting on you, to yourself, to your whatever on your internet, whatever, just say to yourself or to them in person, I'm not accepting commentary at this time.
Oh,
I'm just like, could you, like, if your parent or someone's getting on you, just be like, I'd really appreciate if you stop commenting about my body.
if you're someone who goes out there and like puts yourself out there like just as a person and you receive commentary, especially in person, I'm like in awe of you because I feel like that is so. To be a person who puts himself out there, gets commentary, and then like if you respond back, I'm like, wow, you are really like that is really impressive. Like, and then you keep going and you keep putting yourself out there. That is so impressive.
Oh my gosh.
And so confident. If you like keep putting yourself out there, even if you're not feeling confident, that is so cool. If you keep going and you just keep like, I'm gonna put the swimsuit back on. I'm gonna do whatever it is, even though someone said something or I felt insecure. Like, let's go for it, ladies, this summer.
Yes!
Let's go for it. Let's put ourselves out there.
Yes, I'm literally going to start saying to myself while I'm scrolling, Like, I'm not accepting commentary at this time of other people
So
looking a certain way.
let's cancel the summer body this summer
We're not
and
accepting
just
commentary, people.
let's just put ourselves out there and choose to be confident even if we don't feel confident. Let's
Yes.
just do it.
Choose to be confident. Choose to nourish ourselves. That's the word of the summer, guys.
Nourish.
And spoiler alert, no one loves you because of how you look. That's not why
Yep.
people love you.
No.
They love you
That's not
because
love.
of
Yeah.
everlasting qualities that will always be there no matter what your
Yes.
body looks like.
Amen.
So true.
All right, let's go to our 5 perspectives. We also have Lisa's Pop. I love that we've been getting hers every week.
I
so
know. This is so fun.
Shout out to Ariel for acquiring that every week.
I love it.
AKA getting Lisa to send it to her. So
Amen.
the question this week is, what TV shows are you watching?
Yes.
In reality, Blue's Clues. No, I'm not even kidding.
Paw Patrol.
Blue's Clues, Hot Wheels, YouTube videos of The Lion King on repeat.
Oh, well.
Do any of your kids like Bluey?
No.
Never watched it.
I tried. Everyone loves it and they hate it. Okay, I'll start because I don't watch any shows. So basically, I watch Love is Blind.
Same.
Amen.
And
That's it.
I have a couple shows I like, but I'm not watching literally anything right now.
Amen.
The end.
I'm only watching Love is Blind and The Bachelor.
Wait, what?
I don't have anything I'm like binging. Can you
That's all
believe
you're
it?
watching?
Oh, Max and I are kind of pseudo watching this, but we paused it for Love is Blind because it's way more juicy. This is more of a
Love is
slow
Blind.
burn. It's called Alone, and they drop all these men in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness,
Wow.
and they have to survive with nothing but a bag of like 10 tools or something.
Oh, you should
I feel
text
like Nick would
Lisa.
like
Lisa
that.
would love that.
It's very
Lisa
intense.
loves Alaska
real or
wilderness.
fake?
It's real.
Oh.
They're like, oh my gosh, there's a bear outside my tent.
Lisa
Oh, that
loves
sounds
the
good.
tundra. You should send her it.
I should, yeah.
She would
They
love
do it in
that.
other places. They do it like Canada wilderness, like most places. But
Well, to quote that one TikTok sound of the girl from Somewhere Turned Pretty, oh my gosh, I love this question.
That sounded just like it.
Thank you. So here's what I'm watching. It's like that other TikTok. I was like, perhaps not. This is all things. Okay, I'm watching Hawaii Five-0, watching the FBI's, but not FBI International. The FBI Most Wanted is scary. Okay, so if you watch it, be careful. I watch SWAT. I watch Blue Blood sometimes. Oh, I love Fire Country. Fire Country is my top pick
I've
right
seen
now.
so many ads for
Hawaii
that, and it
5-0.
looks really good.
Besides Hawaii Five-0. Hawaii Five-0 and Fire Country are
See,
like
I
my
always wonder
top.
if you and Nick would watch Fire Country because isn't it about
It's
firefighters?
NorCal. It's
Maybe
NorCal
we should.
firefighters.
That's so
It's the
cool.
dad from Twilight's in it.
I don't remember who that is.
You just like, I don't know. I just like it gives.
Okay.
I think you would really like it actually. So yeah, it's as you can see, I watch a lot of television. I don't have children. What else am I gonna do? You know? Oh, NCIS. Those are like.
Okay, let's hear Lisa's.
I am currently watching. I'm finishing up Love is Blind. I don't know when this airs, but you know, we're waiting for the reunion right now, and that's been absolutely consuming our lives.
Amen.
We also love Vanderpump Rules, and yes, I say we because Chad and I almost watch everything together. Although there is something that I don't watch with him, which is The Real Housewives of Potomac
Ooh.
and The Real Housewives of Miami and The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But
We love
Salt Lake City's
Salt Lake
not on
City.
the air right now. But I'm also currently watching The Real Housewives of Potomac and Miami. Oh my gosh. I love those women with all my heart and soul.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, and then sometimes we throw in a little Next Level Chef. That's a great one. Highly recommend.
what is that?
Gordon Ramsay reality show. Really
Woo!
cool.
I love Gordon Ramsay.
What else do we watch? I'm thinking about other different platforms in my brain. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and we always have the Office Superfan episodes on rotation.
Obviously.
Like when you're watching something that wait, hold on, sorry. We're really into the new Deal or No Deal Island show.
What?
It's so cool. It's like Deal or No Deal and Survivor mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love TV in my household, if you can't tell.
Same.
But that's everything we're watching right now.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Reality
also, guys, if
queen.
you're watching these shows, like you get one episode a week, okay, and then they go off the air for months and months.
I
So
wish
true.
Nick and I could watch a show together, but the last show we watched together is Outer Banks, and we still haven't finished the
my
season.
gosh.
No, when is Nick gonna be having the time to watch television?
We're never
show?
like, oh, now it's time to watch show. We're like, okay, we have time. Let's clean.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Show is our last thing,
Yeah.
so that never happens.
I love those
I
nights
feel like
though.
you guys should look into Fire Country.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it.
I love
I
those
just
nights
wish
when
we
Max
could.
and I plan to watch a show and then we end up talking instead. I'm like, oh, we're really
Aw,
connected.
that's cute.
Good combo.
I don't know,
Those are
guys.
valuable.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with all my shows.
Okay, let's go to
You
Sister
have a
Spotlight.
lot of shows.
Sister Spotlight.
I know.
Where each week a different sister has the spotlight on her. We have Get Real Christina, Sappy, Sassy, That's with Kath. We corner Amy's Rants and Raves and Lauren's Take. And this week the sister is... Ding! Kathy's... Wait, Sappy or
Sappy?
Sassy
Yeah.
Thoughts with Kathy.
Yes,
Is that good?
Pregnant thoughts with Kat.
Bring us home, Kathy Lee.
No, I do feel like my pregnancy has really influenced my emotional state recently. Well, really the whole time, but
How? Yeah, I mean, how would it
yeah,
not?
recently I've just been like, but anyway, that's not what this one's about. So this is, I would say, sappy. It's not sassy. It's just more like deep, I guess. Okay, so my topic today is actually inspired by my Bible study last night. We had a really good discussion about like hearing God's voice.
Ooh.
And I just was like, I kind of want to just repeat what I said at Bible study because I felt like it was just like a good moment. But I was thinking about how a lot of people say like, I pray, but I don't know like how to hear God's voice. Like, I think a lot of people have this idea that like you say something to God, you're like, hey God, I'm struggling with this problem.
Like ring ring.
What do I do? A lot of people, especially it's like big life choices, like should I take this new job? Should I date or marry this person? Should I move? Like these big life things. And then, or even just small things too. And then you're like, I talk, but I don't know what God's saying. And it's like, and then you hear something, you're like, well, was that just my own voice? Was that just like, am I just in my head? Like, it's like it's hard to discern, like, is that the voice of God? And these are my sort of thoughts on that issue. So number one, I think, as annoying as it is, I think it's easiest to discern if that was God's voice in retrospect, and you start to recognize it more as you become more familiar. But the biggest way to discern if God was speaking to you is the fruit of what happened from that situation. So when like God is guiding and the Holy Spirit is like guiding a situation, there will be good fruit from the situation that comes from it. And sometimes you don't see that, and you have to kind of just take a trustful. And I think a lot of times, at least for me, I will go, my favorite place to pray is like adoration at church because it's so quiet and it's so peaceful. And I think a lot of times if you want to hear God's voice, you have to be in an environment of peace and quiet, which is really hard in our modern world to attain that. But I think it's really important because God's voice is best heard in silence and peace. But a lot of times the first time you ask, especially when it's like a big life decision, you're maybe not going to hear like a really clear answer. So sometimes you have to go back several times, even 10 times, 20 times over, whatever, and just keep showing up. You see that a lot in the Bible, people like asking God over and over and like kind of patiently waiting for like an answer. But yeah, don't be afraid to keep asking and God will reveal it to you. It might not be like this loud voice booming out of the clouds. I feel like most people never hear that. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't love you or that he's not listening. He does love you. He is listening. And a lot of times the answer will come in a very subtle, ordinary way, like something someone says to you or just something that happens, maybe an email or an opportunity you get, or just like a something you hear on the radio or on a show. Like you'll hear something that will kind of make it click. And a lot of times that will be God speaking to you. I remember one specific example for me. I was having a lot of anxiety about my wedding.
Oh.
I think I was already engaged at that point, but I was like just questioning a lot.
You were trying to get married in 2020.
Yeah, right. And I was just feeling a lot of anxiety. I remember I would go to church and just sit and cry because I was really overwhelmed by the wedding. And I also was just questioning, like, this is such a big life decision. Like, am I like ready for this? I don't know. Like, I feel so much anxiety. But then I would go into the church and I would pray and I would feel a lot of peace about it. And one day I went into church and I sat down and I was really overwhelmed about the wedding. And in the adoration chapel, there was a single bouquet of flowers that was my exact wedding colors, purple, green, and white. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just took that as like a little sign from God, like, I'm here with you. Everything's going to be okay. Like, trust in me. And I feel like the more I was open to God's voice, the easier it has been to hear it over the years. I just want to wrap it up with that. God is speaking to you. He wants to talk to you. He wants to reach you. It's just a matter of giving him a chance and making some space for like silence so that he can talk to you, and realizing that you have to just be listening for it. You will hear an answer. You will know what to do. He will guide you. And the fruit of that will be good. And that's how you'll know that it was him. So That's my thoughts on God speaking to you.
Actually, really,
Thank you.
really
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. As I said at the beginning, if you want to get all the full episodes, you got to join our Patreon, patreon.com/Cimorelli. If you want to support us, that is a great way to do it, and we appreciate it so, so much. Shout out to all the patrons. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for your support. We love you guys. There's another episode in the books. Let's all have a great, it's not even summer, but let's have a great
summer.
empowered, confident
Hags.
summer.
Yay! And nourished. Word of the summer. Nourished.
Nourished girl summer. All right. See ya.
Amen.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.